So let's talk Lanterns episode 2, a DCU treasure map, which I hope the People vs. Gorilla Grodd, which has been recently announced, will have the same. We got pocket dimensions. That is more than just a Peacemaker and a Superman connection. We got a Green Lantern ring being treated like most of us do our smartphones.
Will soon run out of charge.
Shame on you, you irresponsible people with burnt out attention spans. Including myself. Shame on me as well. And it's funny because I just recently watched the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie. And this episode just reminded me even more of the stark difference between this portrayal and that one. Especially how nonchalant Hal is with recharging the ring. No dramatic breathing and orchestral swells. Just in brightest day and blackest night, no evil turns came on Green Lantern light. So yeah, what were you saying? Also treating the ring like a tiny square TV from the 90s with bunny ears on it. Those of y'all that was there, y'all know. It's looking like the pocket dimension seems to be the most reoccurring thing stringing together the TV shows with the movies. In the most simplest form, what does a pocket dimension allow you to do? Take something enormous, like an entire dimension or universe, and kind of like shrink it to put it somewhere where it usually couldn't physically contain something. That Man of Tomorrow on the way. Villain Brainiac, historically known to treat entire cities and worlds like those little ships inside of a bottle. My grandfather had one. He was a merchant marine. What can I say? Now, I like the hint at Gotham, Batwoman, Barbara Gordon, Commissioner Gordon, but I am hoping the next biggest step towards introducing the next DCU Batman is going to be in the Clayface movie, and I have a separate video on the way that will go into detail about how I see that happening in that movie. Now, William Macon possibly being the Black Hand, and Anton possibly being Atrocitus, and Sinestro at the end, Manhunters being brought up. 4 specific Green Lantern Easter eggs to make an omelet called The Blackest Night. And now in the comic storyline of The Blackest Night, Green Lantern comics, there's a lot going on. If we can simplify it, the Guardians of the Universe, the big-headed blue people who created the Lantern Corps, discovered a dark prophecy in the Book of Oa, which is their version of a holy book. And the prophecy warned that the emotional spectrum of the universe would end up in a final war between light and death. But for some reason, they kept this hidden, which is probably why this is such a mystery to be uncovered and investigated. Now, obviously, a war of the emotional spectrum of the universe between light and death is the different colored lantern cores splitting in half, one half coming together for death and one half coming together for light. Obviously, I don't think they're going to show that in season 2, which has been announced. Especially after the success of the show, I think season 2 might eventually lead into a full-blown Green Lantern movie, which shows that war. They showed William Macon kind of got a chip on his shoulder, but they hinted at something possible with his wife cheating on him with Jon Stewart and him knowing that. And him using the butcher knife and the ribs and all that. If we end up seeing him himself and his family as well, then you know he's the Black Hand, and he hasn't even gotten a Black Lantern ring yet, and this is almost his origin in a sense. And if Anton is Atrocitus, he could be using William Macon to find the Manhunters with the detectors that he was using, not just to seek revenge, but also because in the comics, he uses a dark magic spell to look into the future and see that William Macon will be used by the entity of death itself, Nekron, to usher in the prophecy of the Blackest Night. So if Nekron is already influencing and possessing William Macon, after Hal investigated these bodies, we don't know what's going to happen to them next. William Macon, if he is the Black Hand, might collect those alien bodies to resurrect them as the Black Lantern Corps. That would be fire. That would be fire. Or maybe I just need to take my tinfoil hat off. Okay, I couldn't resist. Let's put the tinfoil hat back on. Maybe copium, but why does Hal's body have a clean hole in his head with only a little bit of blood dripping? Now, obviously, this could be a stylistic choice. It's a comic book TV show, but this is HBO. Think about that. HBO. Violence. Headshot. That usually would look a lot messier, if you know what I mean. Alright, now tinfoil hat back off. Like I said in my previous video of episode 1, it seems like the Green Lantern's energy appears to be interacting with the visual presentation of the costume, which I love that. That makes complete sense. Because now that we've seen more of Hal's costume, it actually looks significantly greener than the trailers led on for it to be. But the trailer showed the costume when it wasn't on him. It was on a hanger in a closet. So Ring's energy might be affecting how saturated the green on the costume becomes. We might see that with Jon Stewart as well. Great attention to detail. Sinestro. Now, I just recently watched the Ryan Reynolds movie, like I said. Younger Sinestro. Post-credit scene, he put the yellow ring on at the end, but this is a different interpretation, obviously. Obviously, he's older, in a cosmic supermax prison, where Hal's visiting him. That means he's already betrayed the Corps. But it's still not clear if he's fully become a Yellow Lantern before that. Or is that going to happen after he gets out of the prison? We'll see if they go into more detail on that. If he's already putting in Hal's head that Jon is the biggest threat that he needs to be worried about, he could already be sensing that is the little bit of fear in Hal that is slowly growing. And if he senses that fear, could that be his connection to the Yellow Lantern ring? And if that body wasn't really Hal, could we get the Parallax possessing Hal Jordan, him becoming a Yellow Lantern with Sinestro storyline? Possibly. Let's see. I'm excited. They've done a great job of pulling us in more and more to want to see more of how this all unfolds. Now, okay, who just sneakily put the tinfoil hat back on my head?